Pakistan definitely has deeper structural problems in its cricket, and there's no question about it. This has been discussed many times before. People have spoken about it. You've heard former cricketers on different talk shows come about and talk about it. The issue is there, and the problem is that that issue is not getting resolved. It is not being addressed, or rather, it is not really making any deep changes within the system to ensure that we don't have this conversation over and over again. About 3-4 years ago, when we did the first edition of the Pavilion show, I remember one evening I had to, on the closing remarks, I said that, look, if we do not address this fast or in due course of time, our cricket will end up just like our hockey and our squash. And unfortunately, that is the trajectory. It is very clear and evident that that is the trajectory. And, it's now more about we play a series, we play a home series, we make turning wickets, we get a team that is not at full strength from the opposition side, we make a few wins, and then we are saying, oh, everything is okay, look, we got this win and all that and everything. So we have to be realistic about it, though there are some promising signs. Every now and then you see an outstanding under 19 right now that Pakistan has. They did really well in the Asia Cup, in the under 19 Asia Cup, that did really well. They couldn't do that well in the under 19 World Cup this time round, but you see that there's some extraordinary talent over there. But the problem is that this talent is not getting the uh, the right their journey to come into the Pakistan team. This is just not being facilitated properly. वो कोई कहीं से निकल के I mean, you'll see one odd performance somewhere and somebody is recognized by somebody and said, oh, this guy is really good, let's bring him in. The system should be doing this. The system should be clearing out all the good players, and all the average players should be separated within the system, within the ranks. But then there is another problem that is there, and that is the quality of our players now. Level of cricket. But whatever cricket that I played, I could tell you that back then, even club level, good clubs, it was impossible to get into a good club team, especially in the vicinities of Lahore and Karachi, the big cities that produce a lot of cricketers. It was very difficult for you to get a spot in a club team. You couldn't just buy the membership and say, hey, now I'm a member of this club and I'll be able to play for this team. No, you really had to earn, because there was so much competition, and the quality of players, even at club level, was far superior than what we see today at first class level. I'm saying that with great, I mean, if you ask any former cricketer, he'll tell you, he will agree with this point, what I'm saying this to you right now. So look, self accountability is a great thing, right? If you have that kind of intellectual capacity that you can process that, look, hey man, I am the senior guy here. I have not been able to deliver, or I'm failing to deliver. Maybe I should step aside and give some young people an opportunity, or I have failed to lead from the front, and just kind of say, look, this is not my stage anymore, and I need to let somebody else take the charge because I've failed it over and over again. But I don't think self accountability is something that we like in our society overall. Forget about cricket, just overall, if you look at it, it's something that people don't like to talk about. But here's a situation that if self accountability is not happening, somebody else needs to do the accountability. And that has to be the regulator or the governing body, in this case, the Pakistan Cricket Board. And the Pakistan Cricket Board needs to have a strategy in, like, okay, if this guy has failed over and over again, a particular talent is not delivering, then maybe he's not ready for this stage. Or if the particular talent delivers a lot under against minor teams or teams that are not that strong, but delivers against, an average team, maybe he's still not the right talent to have in the team, because then you are taking away taking away an opportunity from a young man who should be put under pressure, tested and tried, and given the opportunity to control his nerves in the games ahead, because you're accommodating somebody senior who just keeps disappointing you or keeps failing you. I'm not going to target anybody out here, but I think we can clearly see the names that you've taken: Shadab, Shaheen, Babar. People are talking about it now. In the follow-up game against Namibia, you saw that Shadab was elevated ahead of Babar. I mean, if Babar was not going to be played, What is Babar doing in the team? There are just too many questions, not just related to the individual's performance, but overall strategy of the team. I mean, people need to look at take a deeper look at the strategy of the team management. What is the head coach thinking? What are the selectors thinking? How do they want to go about making a team? It looks to me like most of the time it is a band-aid solution that we're looking for, a serious injury. The trauma that has happened to the soul and the heart of the game itself in Pakistan, we're looking at quick fixes. Everybody wants to come in and, hey, I've come in, now I have to show results, so I need to find a quick fix. There's no quick fix solution to Pakistan cricket anymore. I think this team cycle is definitely going to come to an end. I think this T20 World Cup will perhaps be the last for a couple of players. Definitely, I don't see them coming back unless, of course, the management has totally different ideas. And that's the unpredictable part. Pakistan cricket team itself is not the unpredictable element here. It is the Pakistan cricket management that could be unpredictable as well. I know there's some good people in the Pakistan cricket board who want to see Pakistan cricket improve, of course. But here's another thing that we don't talk about is the amount of external pressure that is exerted on players and management. You have fan following of all these major players, whether it's Shaheen, whether it is Babar, whether it is Shadab. Now, once you talk about and anybody's critical about their performance or say, you know what, we need to drop him or we should not, consider somebody else for this role, you would have a huge flood of tweets and Facebook posts and videos and messages and this and the other everywhere on every platform, whether it's Instagram or X or Facebook or TikTok, saying that, oh, but you're targeting him and all that, everything. And so many times I've heard officials and selectors whisper that, man, I don't want to talk about this or touch this player because I'm going to get a lot of abuses on social media and my kids will see it and it's very embarrassing and I don't want to get in the middle of this. I just want to say to all the people at at responsible places in Pakistan, no matter what field they are in, you cannot allow social media hate or social media criticism determine the course of a particular strategy that you want to put in play. If you want a genuine solution to a problem and you know it for a fact that it's not going to happen very fast, you have to ride it all the way to the end. If you get swayed away by that, okay, I'm getting a lot of abuse or hate on social media, so I don't want to walk down this path, that doesn't produce results. And those who try to hide their poor performances behind social media, by asking their fans to attack people who criticize them, you're also doing yourself a big injustice and, you're hurting your own cause. I'm going to give you the pragmatically speaking, firstly, the Indian talent is now definitely far superior to the Pakistani talent, and that has everything to do with India's first class cricket. Their first class cricket is extremely competitive, it is extremely unforgiving, it's cutthroat, and the system in place. I'll give you an example. Look, India, just before this World Cup, when they announced their squad, they dropped Shubman Gill, who is their Test captain. They dropped him, and he's a great, fantastic player. For who? For Ishaan Kishan, who was dropped earlier from the team for not being performing consistently in their mind, right? And their consistency standard is so high now that it was a surprise for everybody when Ishaan was dropped the first time round. So now they bought him back because he went back to first class cricket. He was told to go back to first class cricket. He slogged it hard in first class cricket. His performances were so good in first class cricket that the Indian selectors said, wait a minute, this guy needs to come back into the squad and take the charge from the top. He's the guy who demolished Pakistani bowling in this last match that we had, the 70 runs that he scored. Okay. Now, their first class cricket is now competing with the likes of the Australian first class structure or the English first class structure, where they have so much talent pool available and quality talent, mind you, not mediocre talent pool, but quality talent pool waiting in the wings for an opportunity to come into their national side. Pakistan, on the other hand, is struggling with the talent pool. The talent pool that we have, a lot of good talent gets wasted simply because systems are not in place, simply because of some kind of nepotism, some kind of politics, some kind of, I don't like his attitude, or, he's from that area and that ethnicity. There are so many things there that are wrong with the Pakistani domestic system, unfortunately. But you could, so the first thing is that their standard of cricket and their talent is a very, very, very superior to what Pakistan is playing right now. That's number one. Having said that, it's not undefeatable. As you saw that some of the weaker teams gave India a tough time, whether it was Netherlands or the games that they played against the other teams. I forget. I'm sorry, fasting, so that's happening. But you could clearly see that they are a very good team. Pakistan, on the other hand, as being unpredictable as always, they can defeat, or they can at least challenge much, much harder to India if our team mentally is stronger. This is the second phase of it. Not now, forget about the talent pool and the availability of talent and the quality of talent. Let's talk about the mental state, the state of mind. Now, in Pakistan, the state of mind is very different because everybody is too concerned about protecting their position, their job, their title. And when I say position, it is a position within the Pakistan cricket team. I don't want to lose my spot in the team, right? Everybody's trying to hide behind something or the other. They are like, you will have individuals who say, I just make sure that my average is intact. I play the right average. Okay, at least I got a 30 in, I got a 40 in. They're all trying to save their jobs. Mentally a weaker team, like, you can tell, body language tells, yeah, you can show bravada in a press conference and you can show bravada when you're talking to the media, but the fact of the matter is when you get into a cricket field, you can tell between two teams, the body language, the aura, everything, it kind of translates into your capacity and your capability on challenging the opposition. So the Pakistani boys, I do feel they are a little weaker. I would, like to see mentally more tougher kids, and mental toughness is the key, because in international cricket, most of the fitness levels are very close to each other. Though even in fitness, there are a lot of question marks in Pakistani cricket team's fitness regime and fitness levels, and that the Indian cricket team's fitness level is much, much higher. But once you get to a certain stage, it is then about your mental toughness. And yes, we are mentally. I'm seeing that these kids or these teams or the young guys that are playing for Pakistan, some of them are do feel under more pressure versus India than other teams. So we were all hoping that we'll see those tactical adjustments or that strategy play out in the Namibia game. But then the Namibia game kind of surprised everybody that Shaheen was dropped, Shadab was not, Babar was not, and we've got on the bench, you've got Naseem Shah, you've got Fakhr-e-Alam. So it's very strange. Too many all-rounders in the team, too much dependency on all-rounders. As you would hear all big captains of the past that will tell you, whether it is the likes of Ricky Ponting or the likes of Owen Morgan or Wasim Akram or anybody, they'd always say that you must have specialist players in the big tournaments. A specialist player, batsman, or a bowler has much more contribution in the long run than all rounders. Because all rounders, you'll have, okay, somebody will work today and somebody will not work today, and that's just really not the right strategy. So I don't know. I mean, I could be wrong. The team has something else in their mind. The Pakistan cricket management has something else in their mind. But I thought that we'd see in the Namibia game, we would see some kind of new strategy in play that will go forward into the Super 8s. But it looks like that right now the Pakistan cricket team wants to stay with the team. They want to stay with Babar Azam in the team. They want Saim Ayub to be there. They want Fakhr-e-Alam on the bench. So they clearly show. I mean, it clearly showed in the last game. So I don't know what the strategy should be. In my opinion, you should be going out now. It's too late to really experiment anymore from this stage onwards. But it would have been my opinion, and I repeat that it's just my opinion, which means it's my opinion. I could be wrong, but in my opinion, I think that Babar Azam should be on the bench. I think we have other talent available. We should have Fakhr in there. I think that Shadab should not be there. But then again, available squad and what we left behind. People that we dropped and didn't take in never announced them in the team. That's also kind of surprised me. We've got some talent. We should be nurturing it, and we should be giving them the opportunities instead. Again, this is the thing that happens. The cricket management is saying we need to get some kind of win here. We need to at least make it to the semifinals. Okay, let me bring in the old horses back in. My chances perhaps are higher with them to actually make it to the semifinal or maybe the final. On the other hand, what we should be doing for the long run is that all those kids that we got into the team recently, we have, Sufyan and all these guys, they should have been given these opportunities. If losses were going to happen, it should have happened with them so that they could gain more experience, get mentally more tough for the tournaments ahead, for the years ahead, and so forth. So that legacy the previous legacy has to fade out, and a new generation has to take over, and a new team has to rebuild, and that rebuilding takes time, and it should have happened already. We've just delayed the inevitable. That's all I can say. I don't know about friends. Again, I'm not the kind of person who believes in accusing or peddling conspiracy theories. I like to look at things the way they are. And when you look at the way things they are, some selections are questionable in the Pakistan cricket team. We don't understand why Shadab is there. Shadab has not been performing extraordinarily. But again, even if he's a super fit fielder. He's very good in the leagues and all that and everything. We have to look for the new talents. Babar is a great talent. He served Pakistan really well. But Babar is now, I don't think, the best T20 option that we have. There are other kids in Pakistan that could actually be given the opportunity, and with the passage of time, they would show results as well. In the same way, we have to look at the bowlers. Shaheen Afridi is not the Shaheen Afridi that we all have loved and admired and who has delivered for Pakistan. He is definitely somebody who struggled with injury, and ever since he's come back, he's not the same bowler. He's not bowling the 144, 143, 145 Ks that he used to bowl and then swing the ball. Now, when he pitches the ball up and it's not swinging, it's very easy for opening batsmen to attack him because it's very easy for them to just loft him over the infield because you have the power play going on, right? And his short ball is not that effective because he doesn't have the pace, he doesn't have the bite. So these selections they are questionable, but then again, it goes back. It's not about relatives and friends and रिश्तेदारी में आ गया कोई. It is also a question about the cricket board's management taking the tough calls, just because they shy away from them because they're afraid that, oh, the criticism, the blowback that'll come back. That I think is the culprit here, and not these things saying, oh, because that's the son-in-law and that's the father-in-law, and because they no, Shahid Afridi has no role in the Pakistan Cricket Board. He cannot pick up the phone and call up the selectors and say, you have to put my son-in-law in the team. I think it's unfair to say that. Saqlain Mushtaq can't. Saqlain Mushtaq is a legend on his own. He's one of the finest, one of the best off-spin bowlers in cricket world history, who invented the dusra, which then everybody else followed, right? He doesn't have the kind of influence that he'll pick up the phone and call up who? Will he call up the chairman of the cricket board to say that my son-in-law should pay? I don't think. I think people just kind of become very harsh that way, and it's not because at the end of the day, remember, it is the performance that will speak. This is not something that you do. Hey, put my son-in-law or put my son into this position, and nobody else will see it because it's a job in a 9 to 5 office environment. This is a very public thing, and it is based on stats and numbers and performance, which is visible to everybody else. So I think that's unfair. Having said that, yes, there are big issues in selection. It's the same circus we've done many times before. Every time we get out of a tournament or if we lose and all that and everything, there is this outrage that takes place. And then, this whole news that, oh, we're going to revamp everything and the coaches need to go and the players need to go. This is not the fix to Pakistani cricket. The fix to Pakistani cricket is a long-term approach. You cannot expect that things will, okay, we are out of the tournament. We never made it to the semifinals. Who's to blame? Somebody's head needs to roll. I mean, that unfortunately is not the approach. What we need to do is pause. because literally you have a big tournament every year now. You have the T20 World Cup every 2 years, you have the ODI World Cup every four, and then you have the Champions Trophy and the Asia Cup, and then so much else going on. So what we really need to do is that we need to stop, pause, go back to the drawing board. You have a very good coach in Mike Kishan. He's a brilliant cricketing mind, by the way. The man who has not played cricket himself, he made, if you look at his track record with the New Zealand team, it's just phenomenal what he did with the Kiwis when he was their head coach, right? Do not, uh, do not do the same thing that we just did with the previous coaches, that we just hoisted them, we have to take them out because they're on somebody's side, or we no now we it's time for a change. Don't do that. Continuity is important. You have a good coach, you have a good team, you have to speak with the seniors of the team, say, guys, you've served Pakistan really well. We appreciate you. We thank you for your service. Give them an honorable exit. Work on your first class structures. Get your first class cricket right, your grassroots level cricket right. It's been badly ignored, and we are going to, I'll give you a quick example. You make a really expensive house, you make fantastic luxurious bathrooms, you put some really expensive sanitary ware, the fittings, and all that and everything, but when you open the tap, you have mud coming out of it. You know why? It doesn't matter what you put on the interface. If you don't have clean water running in the pipes, you will only get mud on the other side. You'll only get dirt on the other side. So you've got to get this whole system fixed. And it's no quick fix anymore. We are already late. We are beyond. It is at least a 5 to 10 year process that you have to go through. And you have to put your domestic cricket right, your international cricket right, and get your management right. And it's not rocket science. Pakistan has done it well before. We used to have an outstanding cricket board, outstanding cricket team that used to give results, cricket team that has given us so many national heroes. It can be done again. It's not impossible, but it needs to be done.